All right, guys, I've seen a lot of comments, everybody wanting to know what pens work where, what pens smear, what pens highlight, etc. and whatnot. So I'm here all about it. I've got all of these black pens that I own. There's one of every brand of black pen in the planet, basically, that you could possibly get. I've got all these pens. I'm going to test them all my Tomoe River paper, Tomoe River, whatever, ever how you say that stuff. I'm going to open to a random page here in the back, and we're going to go for it. We're going to do some pen testing. Open into the note pages, and we are going to have at it. Here we go. I have a mild liner, and I have a Tomoe marker that I'm going to use for the highlighting. These are the two colors that I have duplicates of, so just in case they get dirty, I'm using the ones I have duplicates of. So let's get this on. And I will show you the turn of the page and see how much it ghosts, if it bleeds, whatever. So let's get this started. I'm going to do like all kinds of pens. Let's start with one of the pens that everybody likes. This is the Energel Cleaner. And this one is in a 0.3. So Cleaner 0.3. I'm going to do a little swiggly line here. I'm going to do two of them. And this one's going to be the Tomoe. And this one's going to be the mild liner. Alright, so we're going to check and we're going to see if any of these smear. So for highlighting, because a lot of people have been asking this. Okay, so here is my 491 Tomoe, and it smears. I assure you. Look at that, all black. I'm going to clean it off on this page to get the black off of it. So that smears. You saw how long I waited. This is real live. Not so much with the mild liner. There's a little bit of smearing in there, but not enough that you would tell. So there we go. That's like practically instantly. So Tomoe smears, mild liner does not on the Cleaner 0.3. All right, so I have tried that pen. Let's see what else. This is just a regular pen. This is a Zebra medium point Z grit pen. You can buy these at Walmart. So Zebra, and this might even be a ballpoint pen. Yep. Zebra, what is this called? Medium. And I'm going to put Z grip. I'm going to keep the categories the same. Try the Tomoe. And you see I'm highlighting it immediately. It does not smear with the Tomoe at all. Does not smear at all in the slightest with the mild liner. So that pen is a yes, it does not smear. So I'm going to put it in the I do not smear pile. All right, so let's go to the next one. Here is a friction pen, 0.7 in black. So let's see how this one works. I can never spell this friction word right because they spell it wrong. Or like they spell it non-conventional. 0.7. And again, I'm writing and immediately highlighting on top of it. Tomoe first. And that smeared. Disgusting. I can put on a marker. So people are telling you those don't smear. They do with Tomoes. I've heard a lot of people say in the comments those don't smear. It did. The mild liner smeared also, but like way less. So the mild liner one was tolerable, but it did smear. All right, so let's look at the next one. Here is just a Staples pen that came from Staples, and it says True Red, 0.5. And this is a gel pen, the Staples pen. These rate very similar to the, gosh, I can't even remember. Oh, there's like a name brand pen there, that Tool. They write similar to the Tool pens. All right, so let's do the Tomoe first. And it smeared. I'm cleaning off my Tomoe on the next page, so give me a second. I want it to be black. And then here is the mild liner. It smeared, but only a little bit. It is tolerable. I would not have a problem with using that. Okay, So that one worked. All right, here's the Energel 0.7. Put some squigglies in each category. Let's take my Tomoe. That's smeared. Ooh, gotta clean my Tomoe. That's why I took duplicate color pens, because I don't want to mess up my only color of that while I'm cleaning it immediately. And here is the mild liner. Actually, the mild liner didn't smear. Now, it did take a few more seconds because of the fact that I cleaned my Energel pen, but if you wait like 5 seconds, the mild liner does not smell that Energel. So that's excellent. Here is the Energel 0.5. Okay. This time I'm going to start with a mild liner and see if that made a difference. No, actually it's pretty good. I mean, if it's smeared, not enough for me to bother. Or not enough to bother me. And on the other side, the 0.5 smears less. I would give it like 10 seconds dry time and it probably won't smear at all. Okay, so let's go to another one. This is a Papermate ballpoint pen 1.0. And like I said, I'm just swatching every pen, whether you want to use this one or not, that I have in my collection that's different. That does not at all smear. So for you guys that really want to know, like, that Papermate worked. No smearing at all. Good pen, and they write very well too. Those are my cheap pens that I would put out when I was a teacher. Well, I'm still a teacher, but when I was in a classroom, I teach online now. Now this is my Le Pen. This is one of my favorite pens. I don't know what the point tip size is, but if I had to guess, I'd say it was 0.5, but it's not specified on here. And let's see. It smears a smidge with the Tomoe. Let's see about the mild liner. Did not smear with the mild liner, like at all. So this works with the mild liner, and these are great pens. They come in a variety of colors. All right. Now let's see my Papermate Flare pen. I'm imagining this is going to smear, but for the point of the video, I'm going to try it. Yes, I knew that would happen. Give me one moment while I clean off this this Tomoe pen, because I do not want all that black on there. Okay. Because that smeared quite a bit. I imagine it's going to smear with the mild liner as well, even with that extra few seconds. Yes. And I clean off my mild liner. All right. That smears. Don't use that one. All right. And this is, excuse me, a U brand pen. This is from Target. It's one of their recycled collection pens. It writes really well, and it is a gel pen. And if I had to guess, it's a 0.7. But they write really well. They sell them at Target. They're aesthetically pleasing. And it smears like a crazy person. Give me a second to clean off my Tomoe, because that one got super dirty that time. Okay. And I'm imagining the mild liner is going to do the same, even though it had a few extra seconds of dry time. Yes, it did. That's disgusting on my mild liner. Don't use that one. But if you want to do some casual writing, that's a great pen. All right, this is one of the Simply Gilded pens that comes in like all of her pens. So Simply Gilded. These are also gel pens. I would guess they're a, I don't know, they look like a 0.5 if I had to guess. I know this is going to smear. I don't even know why I'm trying this. Yep. Because they're very juicy pens. So I knew that would smear. That smears on normal paper. But for the point of this exercise, I am swatching it anyway. Now it's had a few more seconds to dry. I can still see it's wet. Like, look. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's just shiny. Well, it smeared way less with the mild liner, but it still smears. So I don't recommend that one. Now let's see, here's a Uniball Signo 0.7. Uniball Signo 0.7. This is a very good writing pen if you've never had one. It writes splendidly. I'm curious, I've never even tried to highlight on top of this. Nope. That's a no-go for the Tomoe. Clean the pen because it got pretty dirty. All right. Let me try my mild liner. Now let's have a couple more seconds to dry. That smears less, but it still smears. All right. How about my Sarasa clip pen? This is decorated by Sanrio stuff, but still 0.5 ink. So this is Sarasa 0.5. Of course, this is also gel ink. I'm imagining this is going to smear because this is a pretty wet pen. Yes, it did. You can almost tell what's going to smear after you put it down because it looked wet. Let's see if the mild liner and a few seconds extra to dry helped any. Well, it smears less, but it still smears. Okay, so that's a no. I know this one's going to smear. Precise V5. So, V5. What is this? Who makes this? Pilot. Pilot. Okay. And I know this one's going to smear. It's got one of those like liquid ink pens. This writes really well though. Highly recommend for writing purposes. It smeared. I figured it would though. So give me a second to clean off the tip. Give it that 3 more seconds of dry time or ever how long it is. Didn't smear too bad with the mild liner. I bet if I gave it like 10 seconds to dry, it'd probably be okay. Now let's see. Here's a popular one, Papermate Inkjoy. Inkjoy 0.7. I'm sure this is gonna smear. This is a great pen to write with also, but like it's wet. It's a wet pen. I'm gonna give this one like 5 seconds to dry because it's a 0.7 to see if it actually helps any. Okay, because I'm afraid it's gonna smear anyway. Yep, it smeared. But just in case that an extra 5 seconds made a difference, because I figured it would smear. And then the mild liner, which has now gotten maybe 10 seconds. Actually, if you give it about 10 seconds to dry, the mild liner works great. That's not too horrible. All right, so now I have the Kleena 0.5. Kleena 0.5. This is the one I use in my Hobonichi cousin most of the time. Now here is my Tomoe. Smears a little bit, but if you waited like 10 seconds, it won't. I didn't wait any time there. And it does not smear with the mild liner. Okay, so we've got that one. Let's see what else we got. Okay, I already did a Sarasa. Already did one of these. I guess I got 2 of those. Okay, here's a twin tone marker from Tomoe. So this is the small size. So twin tone. Oops, can't spell. Twin tone. I'm curious. I've never tried to highlight on top of this. But this pen writes good, and it's got double-sided, like stick on that side. And I'm using the fine sign because that's the sign you'd be writing with anyway. It smears. Not as bad as I thought it would. So, but it does smear. Let's see if the mild liner is better. The mild liner is tolerable. I mean, it smeared a smidge, but not enough to, like, for me to not use it. All right, so there we go on that. Now we're going to start into my micron pens. I have permas and I have non-permas. Let's see. Let's start with these are microns. This one's 0.2 because I have quite a few sizes. So yeah, that's 0.2 micron. Tomoe is smeared a smidge, but that also could be because there's a lot of black at this point on my my Tomoe, because these usually don't smear. It does not smear at all with the mild liner, so that's great for mild liner. Here is, let me see if I have a 3, because I feel like I have a 3. Yep, here's a 0.3. My micron, 0.3. We got a little thicker, which really is like, I know it says 0.3, but it's more like a 0.5. If you want me to be honest about it, because their numbering when you have that kind of a marker is a little off. Now this one's curious to see. Let me clean my marker a little better before. There's a little bit of black on the edges, and I'm thinking that's what's showing through. All right. Yeah, because it didn't smear that time. So I think it was the black that was on the edge of that. And then let's do the green one. Of course not. Mild liner's good. So these are pretty good. Now let's do the 0.5 micron. So micron 0.5. And I have bigger ones, but I'm going to stop at the 5 because I doubt anyone's going to use bigger than a 5 in one of these planners, because like it's like super thick, because this 5 is more like a 7, as you can see. So let's see. Here is the blue one. Smeared a smidge, but you know, that is a lot thicker ink. If you let it dry about 10 seconds, I don't think it would smear. And then here is the mild liner, and it smeared a smidge at the tail, but that was it. But not enough to keep me from using it. All right, so here is a Stabilo 0.88, so it's a fine, which is a 0.4. So Stabilo, I don't know how to spell it, Stabilo, 0.4. Let's see how this does. This is a very good writing pen, and I have these in every color as well. Well, not every color, but every color they come in. And here is the Tomoe, smeared a little. I mean, if I let it dry a little longer, it'd be all right. Mild liner. Mild liner only smeared a smidge, not enough for me to not use it, honestly. All right, so now we've got our micro perm markers. So let me see which one's the smallest, because I have 3 sizes. Here's a 0.1 micro perm, and these write a lot bigger than what they say. This is 0.1. I use these markers on my stickers that are like glossy, because this will write on the glossy stickers and not smear. Like, you know what I'm talking about if you got those glossy sticker kits. Okay, so let's use the Tomoe. Did not smear. Again, they're permanent markers, so that doesn't surprise me. And of course the zebra pen did not smear. And I'm just going to keep putting numbers, because instead of rewriting the whole word, because the rest of them are all micro perm. So this one's a 0.3. And here is the Tomoe. Did not smear, obviously, because these are permanent markers. So, and I'll show you the back side of the page in a minute. And of course that does it. So if you're super interested in something that won't smear at all instantly, the micro perms are your thing. This is 0.5. So this is super thick. This is more like a 0.8. If I had to like they're all like bigger than they look, because of the fact that they're those felt tip. Even that one didn't smear, and I wrote instantly on it. I didn't give any dry time there. And the mild liner did not. So all these micro perm pens are excellent. Now let's see what the other side of this paper looks like. The micro perms bled, so you need to know that. That's why I only write on top of stickers with them. But the rest of them, here you can see the shadowing through it. Of course, you can still see some of this on this side, so that doesn't help. Let me hold it up like this. There we go. So pretty much they all have about the same amount of shadowing, except the micro perms do bleed through. But if you write on top of stickers, the micro perms work great. If they do not, it all smear with highlighter. So here is my extensive highlighter test. For bonus, we will do the, what is it? The Pentel sign pen. This is one of these kind of pens. So write hello, and I'm just going to show you the bleed through because I'm not going to highlight on top of that. I don't know anybody that would do that on purpose. But here's the shadowing. So I had that one, so I was going to show you. And that's pretty much it. I have a jelly roll pen, but I know this one's, I'm not going to even attempt to highlight on top. That will ruin my pen. But I will write on the paper with it. It doesn't write good on it anyway. Jelly rolls like skip a lot. But I'll show you the ghosting on the other side. About the same as any of the other pens. But I'm not highlighting on top of that because that will ruin my marker. Now that it's had a few seconds to dry, now I'm actually curious. I'm even blowing on that one because I know these are super juicy. Yeah, that's horrible. Exactly as I expected, but I did it. That's jelly roll. I know I didn't label it. That's what that is. I'm just use a random pen. Jelly roll. Even though that's not the jelly roll. And now that it's had a few seconds to dry, let's see if the mild liner. It's not that bad. If you give it like 20 seconds to dry, I think the mild liner is okay on it, to be honest. All right, so there we go. Mild liners tend to work better with most of the pens, to be honest. So mild liners are better than Tomoes, it seems overall. But here are all of the ones that I have swatched. Let me make sure it's all in screen so you can see them all. And it is, yay. So there are the answers to your what can highlight and what cannot highlight. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you next time. Bye.